Hello, and welcome to the Weekly Scroll Podcast. My name is Ryan.
And I used to have a beard.
Oh, my turn. I'm Jarrett. See, I thought you were going to say your name as you're just going by. I used to have.
I've never done that.
You've never said your name. That's
like his whole thing. No, he
the
said it like
secret.
twice. We've done like 180 episodes total across everything, and he said his name twice, I think.
Now I know the secret. Well, I'm Jarrett Crader from Space Penguin Inc.
Space Penguin Inc. So this is not Cat Chats episode 4, I think we said it was. So
Yeah,
for those
4.
that aren't in the know, Jarrett edits everything. Most indie games you have on your shelf will probably have his name in it. And Jarrett comes on every month to chat about Space Penguin Inc., new releases. I think today we're going to talk about a couple other like different things than we've talked about in the past couple episodes. But yeah, new releases. I got some right here. I got more that I think are going to show up on my doorstep today. But starting it off, Jarrett. First of all, you'll never walk alone. Second,
That's right. Kiss the badge.
Get it. We'll miss you, Klopp. How you doing? How's it going? What's up?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Thank you for having me on as always. I'll give you an update. I'm waiting on, as you both know, waiting on a pallet of some Rune Cairn Warden Saga coming in this afternoon from jolly old England. Oh shoot, Ryan has a copy. Does he have a copy? There we go. Yeah, this is the.
Do I have a copy?
Right. This is the new edition that Colin 𝗲𝗬 just put out, and yeah, this is we're handling fulfillment for those following along. We're handling fulfillment for a couple of smaller companies, some friends of ours, some Kickstarter projects and stuff like that. And Colin approached us back before ZQ Zine Month, whichever one it was this year. And well, they get things get pretty blurry for me. Like I'm heads down in a lot of stuff, and then all of a sudden I'm like, oh shit, it's February. There's stuff going on. But yeah, Colin approached us because it's going to be less expensive, more palatable for him to pallet a pile of books over here, and then we crack that and we repackage and we send them out so that we can hopefully, because I haven't seen the numbers on that. I've seen the backer numbers, but I haven't looked at like how much he's charging. But making sure that we can work it out with other fulfillment folks and other publishers that we're actually got stuff coming in. Sorry, I'm hearing people talk outside, and it's not the people with the pallet, but he'll be here soon.
You're like that suspicious person in the neighborhood who's always like looking out their blinds.
I am that little old lady because I'm here and I work and it faces the street. And yeah, I'm here all day, every day, and I'm like, who's talking? I know who's opening the mailboxes because the mailboxes are right by my window. I know it by the way they turn the key, or I can hear them like walking and stuff. So it's what happens when you've been here for like 4 years and just constantly in this chair, I swear.
I've lived in my apartment for 2 years, and I've never even spoken to any of my neighbors.
I've spoken to all of the neighbors. So
yeah, well, you're a charismatic boy.
The couple next to me has a really cool 𝗡𝗄𝗏, which I think's cool.
Oh, cute.
Yeah.
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 Cool.
So what? So I have a stack of stuff here. I don't know if and when we want to talk about that, because not only do I have last month's releases here with Resonance. First of all, I love this cover, by the way, the 𝗏𝗏𝗏 2. Yeah, they think it's all over at the Mutants of Madness MCC. But I also have this nice box right here.
What? Is there a pile of stuff inside there?
What is this? Oh,
the curse of the tokens. Your token sheets are falling out.
A warband book. What? A map.
Proud of those
collection.
Maps.
A collection of death. This is fantastic, by the way. I knew I have all of these, but when you actually stack them up and have a perfect bound that's like 160 pages, it gets crazy. And then we got that right there. Look at the spine on that. For those in podcast world, what I just did was unbox the In Times Forbidden Psalm box. I love the Forbidden Psalm In Times on the edge of the new hardback. It's absolutely fantastic. And same thing with the Collection of Death. So those came out extraordinary. Very excited to have these in hand and to cut out all my tokens.
Yeah, excellent. I have, for people wondering for people watching or you can see it, these little clippers. You can get yourself, I believe Will said a 1-inch works pretty well. And is that drilling coming through?
Nope.
No,
you
good. There's drilling outside now. We're still in hurricane repair mode from Hurricane Ian, which was the fall of 2022. It's almost 2 years now. So the DIDs are out there repairing all of the safety rails because there's a level above us. So they're all it's safety last. Safety last. I never thought I'd get to make that joke.
There we go.
I won.
Yeah,
but anyway, these little clippers are pretty cool because you trim your sheet out and then you slide it in there and you just punch and then it collects in the bottom of it. Now you want to do them 1-to-1 to make sure you're lining it up. But that little cutter, I'm going to mess with my camera and it's going to get mad at me. You can't really see it. But anyway, it punches them out nicely, and then you can put them on like a 28mm base, like for minis, or you can put them on a quarter if you wanted to, if you want something a little weightier. The story of those tokens is elucidated in that zine that you just opened right there.
Beautiful.
There's the tokens. We wanted activation tokens, and we really wanted them to, because it's fun to play with. Now, if you're playing a solo game, you know which characters you've activated, and you know which ones are dead and diseased, and you know which ones are, obviously feeling the heat. But when you're playing a couple of people and you've got a lot of monsters out there, you want to be able to keep track of which ones activate. So we found a company out of St. Louis that was like, yeah, we could do them. And we were so on board and we were so ready. And then our DIE for the punch out that was supposed to punch these things so that when the person at home got them, they could just punch out these little tokens. They were going to be nice laminated paper, like a couple millimeters thick. So it was going to be, have a little heft to it so you can put it underneath, a little easier for your fingers to pick up. The die on the custom die that Will designed broke their machine. So,
nice.
Of course, like the power of the Forbidden Psalm, it broke the machine, and then we started running up against delays in time of getting it turned around and getting it sent out to our backers. And that's the last thing you want to do with your first Kickstarter from your brand new company. So what we did was Will overnight created the Vault of the Mad Wizard and actually made a scenario about how big business was destroying the tokens and you had to rescue them. So that's one of the scenarios in there. And people are just like, oh yeah, that's awesome. So turned that around. Will created, laid out, designed that in a night. I edited it over the next day. We sent it off to get printed. It got printed. We printed out paper versions of the tokens that Ryan was holding up. And then shipped those all, packed those out. My lovely partner, Debbie, and she did majority of it, just like literally 99% of it. I did 1%. I'm the tape guy. I'm the finisher. I fold the boxes. Before that, she has like stamped our logo and whichever product logo. Like you'll notice, like Ryan, as you get different packages, and Hunter, as you get different packages, some of the boxes have like different bits and different stuff. So
Ryan's ready.
Right? They'll have a Forbidden Psalm logo.
Forbidden Psalm. Oh, trust me, I notice.
Yeah.
I actually save a lot of the box lids and stuff with punches with the stuff on them.
Yeah, cool. She
'Cause I'm a
appreciates
psycho
that.
where I not only do I have to have extras of everything, I'll save the box it comes in.
Well, she hand stamps every single one of those. So like not only are the books collectible, but yeah, I have some maps somewhere, I think, from a 𝗏𝗲 𝗖𝗵𝘁 project from a while back. I think I want to say that I might have a Max Moon map or drawing or something. Like that's a lot of the stuff on my wall are bits and pieces of stuff that people have sent me in the mail. Like, and I love that sort of just little ephemera stuff that you would normally be like, oh, it's a piece of paper, whatever, you know.
What I just showed is every time you get something from 𝗄𝗶𝘁, the creator of Cyst, they draw on the entire envelope or the entire thing from England. So I just save all of them.
That's so good.
Very cool.
So good.
So yeah, I mean the like you said, it's the solution to the problem is great. I am just not going to fuck with circles, and I'm just going to cut them into 1x1 squares and not worry about it. But the solution was fantastic. I mean, obviously that's not great to happen, especially for the first Kickstarter. That kind of sucks. But I think a lot of people, obviously, you know what you're doing. And getting it in people's hands and keeping people interested, especially since you're doing the monthly stuff, is incredibly important. I'd much rather have an extra zine with a cool new scenario that, you know, pokes fun at the issue at hand than wait. How long would it have been if you would have waited?
Probably been another 3 months.
Crazy.
But I'm gonna pause us because that pallet arrived. So we're gonna do. I will be right back. Look at that.
BRB. And we're back. Pallet break is over. That was quick. That was a quick pallet breaking.
Luckily it was half. So it wasn't like full and big. And I believe Colin packed this himself because it had a lot of because there was other parts to it, like not just the �𝗏𝗏 Saga 2 book, you know, it was literally there's some patches and some other stuff in there. But yeah, no, we have a pretty good system down here as far as the storage space. Ryan, I think I sent you some pictures of those.
Oh, you did.
Of that earlier. You can, if you want to throw up.
You did. Yeah.
So people can see this is what's like living in a warehouse. So
I'll throw up picture 1 here. So what are we looking at here with picture 1? It's well, you numbered them.
You did. Let's see. Picture number 1. That's a bunch of Marco stuff. Is it the one that has Glimmshire in it and some sampled strangers?
It's a bunch of boxes and then some like white unfolded boxes.
Yeah. So that's all outsourced underneath that, which is Marco at Spicy Tuna RPG.
Shout out.
Those are actually in process right now. We've taken a couple of loads to USPS. We're running another load to USPS tomorrow and FedEx. What we did with 𝗏𝗏 𝗖𝗵𝘁 was we did all of the international orders that we were responsible for and rest of the world stuff first so that we could get out of the way all of the painful multiple copies of customs documents and plastic envelopes and everything. And then we did all the US. So it just goes a lot faster because all of the 𝗏𝗏 𝗖𝗵𝘁 stuff could go medium mail because it was all printed material. There was no patches. There was no anything like that. With outsourced, there's patches. And the last thing we want to do is run afoul of customs because my name and the company name is on every single one of those packages. So if we start getting tagged by customs in one country, they're going to tag every single package like that comes through that says Space Penguin Inc. And it's just going to take that much longer until backers get them. So we make sure that, you know, obviously we're using software. We're using Easy Ship, which is a great software. Shout out to anybody who works at Easy Ship who might be watching or listening. Great customer service there too, by the way. So we did a run with outsourced. We did a run of the US ones just to see what we were looking at. And then the next day we did kind of a mixed bag. And then we were just like, okay, so we're going to go back to finishing up the US ones so that we can get those out because it's just a little tiny bit more intricate. It's not even, it's silly software buttons that you have to press and stuff like that. But we want to make sure that we're getting everything to everyone in the right order, and we're not having to repick and mispick. Like, I think total for Forbidden Psalm, which was almost 2,000 backers, counting backer kit and everything, I think we've had less than 10 mispicks total, which is some legendary shit. Like, between Will pushing out all of the EU and UK orders, and then us pushing out US and ROW, we took care of Canada, we took care of Australia, Singapore, Southeast Asia and stuff like that. That's obviously that there's still time for people to be like, oh, my box arrived and it looks like someone stabbed a sword through it. Shout out to 𝗏𝗏 and the New Caledonia treatment. If Matt's listening, he'll know what I'm talking about. That's New Caledonia treatments, where you stab a book through the box. When I worked at Exalted Funeral, we once had a customer say that their box came intact, but the book, like the hard cover of the book, looked like it had a machete stab right in the cover of it. And they sent us pictures, of the box. So my guess is what happened was Customs was inspecting it, and Customs went in hard and put it in a different box, although we couldn't quite tell. Right.
Wow.
So not calling out Customs, but how else does a book get a big stab wound in it inside a box?
Unless you stab it.
Like,
yeah, gotta find that cocaine. You stab with your switchblade and then sniff it a little off. It's a thing, right? People do that.
Yeah. So anyway, so that's where we're at with outsource. So that was picture number 1. You got other pictures there?
I do. Let's go with picture number 2 here. That's a nice, some nice flags and stuff. You got there on the back flags,
yeah. So those are that's all Forbidden Psalm stuff. That is it was double that. It was actually most of the Liverpool flag was covered, and then the bigger boxes, the bigger stacks are Dread Knights. Dread Knights. It's a great Gothic horror skirmish miniatures game. Buy multiple copies of Dread Knights, everybody. No, that was us ordering a lot of hardcover copies when we started out, and not knowing how to adjust quantities and stuff. Like, there we go. Look at that. All multiple the Dread Knights.
Is that what you said?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That's my dude right there.
It's why we do these episodes, because Ryan's your favorite customer.
It's been Ryan,
I feel like
when you are like it's great when I put up new releases, because it's like I was like, Ryan's gonna be first, and like Debbie hasn't met you guys yet. She will at some point, but she's like, oh, looks like you ordered again, and I was like, yep, sure did. So
always will. I feel like I frequently the second stuff drops, I've got to be one of the first customers every time.
No, it's awesome. I super appreciate that. Like, that's why we do this, is to get cool, weird shit into people's hands so that they can enjoy it and read it and just do whatever with it. But
wipe.
What? Wow. Anyway, so yes, so that picture.
That's why we have you on. That's why we have you on, is because you make awesome weird shit that we love. Like, I wouldn't have someone on every month that just made like mediocre bullshit. Like, we set up a time, and both of us look forward to it every month to have you on, so we can talk, and we chat all through the month on Discord and everything. Is because the stuff that you make is fantastic. Space Penguin's fantastic. You're like, the way that you do everything, the way you're running your business is how I think the whole industry should be, and a lot of it isn't, which is unfortunate. So when you can have one of those kind of meet your heroes and become friends with them things, it's really fantastic. And that's kind of what we have here, and why we got not cat chats. So
cat chats.
I did notice in the email that you just wrote cat chats, not cat chats. I'm just saying, I noticed that it is not cat chats. Anyway. Also in that picture is my Liverpool flag, which we discovered today. Ryan and I have a shared love of Liverpool Football Club, which is why I'm wearing the 2019 Champions League champions kit. It's gonna be a weird time. So Jurgen Klopp came on right before Debbie and I met
And as you know, fans of whatever, whether it's RPGs or sports teams or music or whatever, you know, when you're passionate about something, you're passionate about something. I mean, got a tattoo YNWA here, and I've got the crest tattooed on my chest. I love these guys. So Debbie has lived through me, and she's a college basketball fan. She loves college basketball, KU at heart, but just loves college basketball, and I watched a bunch of it. But it's going to be weird because the outgoing manager, Jürgen Klopp, started like right before Debbie and I met. So it's going to be a new epoch. We're going into our 8th year of relationship, and we get a new manager for Liverpool, and I don't know what to do.
That's
There's
crazy.
going to be some crying. There's going to be some crying.
Yeah.
Hey, I've watched a soccer game before.
I'm not gonna go dig through my box of jerseys. The closest thing I have right now is I got all of the. Since you got the 2019, I decided to get every patch, the Champions League winners patch, right?
Nice.
The 6 trophy patch.
Hell yeah!
All the Champions League stuff.
That's right, people. Ryan doesn't only have a problem with collecting tabletop stuff. It's anything. So
yeah,
Club World Cup winners right there.
The Club World Cup, and then all of the rest of the patches we had.
Nice.
For every patch we won something with in 2019, so I can eventually put it on something.
I find myself wanting to put some of my extra patches on sashes, like the scouts used to get,
like a Girl Scout? Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And because I have a bunch of patches from obviously books I've worked on and friends projects and stuff like that I get. And then I get weird ones like, I'm a huge fan of most Universal monsters. That stuff was just iconic to me when I was a kid. And so I've got this one of the creature from the Black Lagoon, and it's literally a 4x6 patch. It's huge, and it's all beautifully embroidered. We picked it up somewhere when we were in Miami on a trip a couple years ago. There was a great patch shop that just sold patches, and it was just like so much good. And then I've got a bunch from when we were over in the UK last year. We went by a couple of embroidery shops in Camden Town and just got random stuff. So yeah, I'm right there with you with the patch problem.
I'm a patch and pin guy. I have a giant coffin-shaped pin board for all of my enamel pins. But yeah, also Mothership.
That's a good idea. I should have a container, you know?
Yeah. A container for you, but you have to display them.
I know, you're right. For my patches and my pins, they're all in this in my art box, you know, with all my art stuff. So
I have a separate bag. It's actually the Mothership bag that they sent the pamphlets in. I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, that little warden bag. It's actually like right there. It has every patch from all the Mothership stuff. I kind of want to get that Night School thing behind you, how it's kind of like a cloth on like a roll. I want to get a giant empty one of those and just put all the Mothership patches like along that. Nice.
Yeah. That's actually just it's a poster print that Dai made for the GMDK books. So nice. It's a cool it's 2 pieces of board, and they've got magnets on the top and on the bottom, so there's a little bit of weight. So it's like a frame-free poster frame, I believe is what they call them. So
that's awesome. I love that. Yeah, so this is what I'm talking about. I don't know if you saw this at their store before.
Oh, I did. But they copied that off of the one that we designed for Stella's Rimbound transmissions. They did. They made them fancier. They made them like Sean made them actually got them done with a bank bag. The ones that we.
Oh, you mean this one?
That one. Yeah. So that's what happens when you don't know. When Jarrett doesn't know what he's doing, and he's working with Justin, and Justin's like, I think we could do it this way, and then if we redid those, we would put them. There you go. There's a bunch of them. You got some that I don't have. I got quite a few that I don't have. Right? Send me your doubles, man. Send me your doubles. They're like ball cards.
Gotta love Alfred Valley. I got double ups. Here, I will put one of those aside.
Look at that.
Gosh, what were we even talking about?
Oh yeah, we were looking at the pictures.
The pictures. All right.
And then
so I doubled up 3 and 4 because they were. Yeah.
So 3 is all of the racks. Those are Debbie's speed racks. So if eagle-eyed viewers are people who are just leaning in really close. We'll see like a lot of those are boxes with names because she individually wraps everything just to make sure that it doesn't get damaged by rain and dust and wind and stuff like that. People want fresh stuff when they spend money on stuff. As a person who spends money on stuff, I like getting fresh stuff that comes in good shape.
Same.
But there are currently 5 speed racks in the front room. And then there's 2 racks, like back in picture number 1 behind the outsourced books. There's 2 non-movable racks that have our board games and stuff on them. But we're talking about swapping out the 2 non-movable racks and putting the board games on them because we're doing fulfillment for folks, and we end up with big piles of boxes of books like the one I just unloaded, and we want to be able to get our board games out because like tonight, we met a new friend, Peter, at a local board game night last month, and he's finally getting a chance to come over, and I want to show him all of the cool games and the weird stuff we have, but they're hiding behind boxes of outsourced. And so it's our fault. We got to get faster about it. No, we'll get outsourced out the door. We're at the halfway point already after like less than a week. So feels pretty good. But eventually we're going to replace some of these static racks. We're moving some of this stuff to a storage space, some stuff for long term, because eventually in the fall we'll have Karen coming in. So
yeah.
Cool. And then the last picture is the box folding zone. Those are a bunch more outsourced that are going to go out to the post office either this afternoon or early tomorrow morning. And then that's one of my favorite things in the world that I own is a silk screen of Dolly Parton that I got put in a really fancy frame because I really love Dolly Parton. Like she's the best. She's kind of like my mom, I swear. And her music's just done a lot for me. And it's one of those situations where you pay more to frame the thing than you paid for the screen print. So I was talking to my buddy Clint the other day, and we were commenting that the real racket is framing original art. Screw the original art. Don't be an artist, go be an artist framer, because they're always gonna have work, and that stuff is not cheap.
No, well, it's not.
It's worth it.
It's not super easy. So I actually started as an art major in college, and we learned how to mat all of our stuff. There's actually a special machine to cut it, so it's like an angle in your squares and stuff. It's a little bit of work to actually put something in a nice matting and a nice frame. So, but that is where the money is. Speaking of Karen, I got an email today. We got the Road Ahead May 17th edition. Was that you? Was that?
Say what again?
Karen 𝗏𝗏. I got an email
Karen,
from Space
Road.
Penguin Inc. today.
Yeah, everyone just saw ADHD go live. No, I just saw it. I saw customer support email pop up. I will get to it shortly after the show. Yes, the Road Ahead. Was the Road Ahead email good? Was it juicy? Did it feel like we told you stuff today?
I didn't get a chance to read. It was at 9:31, so we were in the process of setting up for this
when ready to go on. Yes, I can read you what happened on the Road Ahead. Adam, who is doing layout and design of the books, has just been a beast. And I asked for percent last week because we're doing bi-weekly updates now just to maintain communications and stuff like that. Make sure folks know that we're not sleeping on the job and we're not just taking the money and messing off with it or whatever. And he he nailed me. He was like, here's a bunch of spreads, and then here's all of these percentage wise of everything. So it just makes my job easier of pushing the update in there. And then Yohai goes through and makes sure, or Derek goes through and makes sure that I don't sound too stupid and robotic, because I kind of get that way because I want to just present facts and not. it's facts. It's a contractual thing. You know, folks have spent money on this, and so I want to not lean into the emotion. Yes, it's emotionally, yes, my job is awesome and it's great, and I love doing what we do, and there's always going to be emotions and stuff. But when you're trying to put out proper communications and keep people up to date on where stuff's at, you try to do all the facts. So I tend to get really robotic, and they make me sound not all robotic. But let's see, Backer Kit is coming in the next couple of weeks. I'm still behind the scenes. I'm spending some time each day watching markets and making sure that we are paying attention to how much these books weigh and where these books are shipping from. So we're trying to dial in, I'm trying to dial in those shipping prices so that when we go live with the smoke test here in the next couple of weeks, people aren't like, how come it costs $4,000 to ship here? Because I put an extra 0 or 2 on there. I wasn't paying attention. It's a lot of bells and whistles. It's a lot of stuff, and I feel a good weight and a good responsibility behind the scenes working on backer kits and stuff like that. You know, a lot of our fulfillment clients allow me access to the backer kit as well, so that we can handle customer service issues and things like that, and shipping addresses and all of that stuff. So I would say I've spent some time in backer kit prior to doing this, but since opening Space Penguin, I've spent a lot of time inside backer kit to the point where I type in B in the address bar and it pops up, goes straight to backer kit. Doesn't go to Basecamp, which is the project management software that I use. You know, it just goes straight to backer kit, which is fine. I'm actually having a meeting with them Monday about a new project that we're going to be running. But yeah, to close on the Cairn stuff, there's a bunch of new spreadsheets with stuff covering the factions and seeds. These are all from the Warden's Guide. And then the opening spread for event registration opens this Sunday. Thanks, Gen Con. If anybody didn't know, it's time to get your events for Gen Con. For Amanda P's adventure, Dread Hospitality. Is getting the layout treatment right now, and Zedek turned in his the other day, and I believe Brad's is in and getting ready to be poured into layout. So nice. Yeah, no, everything is solid and on track. Great team to work with. Communication is just honest and open, and you know, like if something's dragging a little bit, we talk about it. If something is, you know, if I'm not being as talkative about something, they have no problem just asking, and I'm like, oh yeah, cool, that's what it is, because I got that ADHD thing where it's all the answers are already in my head, and I've already gone through the conversation 4 or 5 times. But if I don't type it out loud or say it out loud, then it's just still in my head. Yep. Woo. Yeah, glad we're on the same page with that one. Wait, what did I just say?
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah, that's exactly, yeah. I tell people that all the time, listen, I'll get it done. You just tell me what to do. And people are like, but I don't want to tell you what to do. I'm like, no, I need you to tell me exactly what to do and when to do it, and I will do it. But if you leave it up to me, I will get it done 5 minutes after it's due. Okay. So, so yeah. Last time you were on, you were talking about, potentially going over and I don't know if that'll be this month or next month or what, the ins and outs of some of what is the name of the publishing of, like, it's not ADMC,
ACD Distribution.
ACDC. Yeah.
ACD.
You had mentioned I'll just remember ACDC. Talk about that a little bit. Is that something you want to talk about this month? You want to talk about it next time? Or
totally happy to. We're actually heading to Madison, Wisconsin for ACD Games Day next week, which is where we get to meet all of not all, but we get to meet 200 plus retailers. So the way that distribution works, and some of you are similar with how it works with booze and bars and convenience stores and grocery stores and stuff like that. It works the same for books, in that retailers, so your grocery store, your friendly local game store, your tavern, your bar, they want to have a lot of selection for their guests. However, they, like everyone else, don't have a whole lot of time. And so if they were to meet with every single brewery or every single snack cake manufacturer or every single book publisher, their time would just be non-existent and moot, because not only are each person carrying a different thing, each person has a different method of communication and whatnot. And what distributors do is they allow us to give them all of this information in a timely manner. And with ACD, it's monthly. So when we have a new release, we send in a cover photo and a press kit that has all of the stats for the book. The cover side, or if the colors cover or black and white, if the interiors are color or black and white. Form factor. So is it A5? Is it 5.5 by 8.5 inches? Is it A4? You know, is it a card deck? Whatever it is. The page count, what system it's for, what it can be, you know, what type of book it is. Is it an adventure? Is it a rule set itself? All those details. And then of course the marketing blurb, the worst part. Like, this is why I'm so thankful to be able to work with Dye Sugars, because Dye does all of this stuff for us. And like, I don't know how to say words in the right order. Yes, I'm an editor. I know how to make words appear in the right order, but from the whole cloth of my head, I'm not good at being like, you should do this. Now, if we meet in a friendly local game store, I'm going to be like, oh, dude, you should totally play Mothership, like, because it's like totally survival horror, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I'm practiced at Mothership, and I can even read the back of this and tell you what's good about Resonant or Spirit Night or anything like that. But from the whole cloth of my head, it's one more thing that I'm not good at. And so that's what Dye is really good at. And so we have these press kits that have a little bit of a tagline, and then they have a blurb, you know, kind of an in-world bit about it. And then it tells you, and then a paragraph telling you exactly what that's about. So I send in photos, we send in the press kit with all the proper details. And then there's also other details that we have to have, like the ISBN, the SKU that we use, particularly for ACD. There's a hobby group that we are signed up for. I honestly can't remember the name of it, because we signed up once, we paid the fee, and now we are SDJ, so Space Penguin Debbie Jarrett. We wanted SPI, but of course SPI has been used for many other things over time. So all of our SKUs for all of our items now have a unique SKU is stock keeping unit, for those that now you know what a SKU is.
I didn't know.
So
it's good to know.
So if you see,
I don't think I ever knew that. So
yeah. So if you see SDJZ, that means Space Penguin Zine, and then it'll have a catalog number, which will be 0018. So that's the 18th release in our internal catalog. We also do, for specific lines, we have SDJFP, which stands for Forbidden Psalm. So that way, all of the stuff in the Forbidden Psalm line has its own little misnomer, little identifier. Not a big deal when you're small, when you're putting out like a couple of titles a month or whatever, but it's going to be a big deal in 3 to 5 years if we keep it up. And suddenly we need to be like, okay, SDJFP0071 is going out of print or whatever. I need to be able to, I don't want to have to tell our rep there, Michael Parker, and our purchaser, hey, Michael, this title, blah, 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 that title's going to go right out of his head. He doesn't need the title. He needs the SKU number, right? So everything has a SKU, everything has an ISBN, which is the barcode number for those folks who don't know. And then has to have, you know, the price. And then the most important thing for us, and well, not for us messing with shipping and stuff, is the weight. So everything has to be weighed, and every new print run has to be weighed between print runs, because we print a lot of stuff at Mixam, and sometimes Mixam will use a slightly less, they give you an average range of paper weight. So you don't always know. So sometimes you might get a print run and it weighs a little bit more. And that's very important to know when you are shipping things to a distributor, because then that distributor is turning around and they have to have that weight in their system for when the best part of all this is when the friendly local game stores buy copies of our books. And that's really what distros do. So we get them a bunch of information and then they give us orders for these books. And then we ship these books to their warehouses. So that way the store can order stuff from ACD. They can order Space Penguin at the same time they're ordering their Magic the Gathering, at the same time they're ordering their Exalted Funeral, at the same time they're ordering 𝗏𝗡𝗄𝗏 and all this stuff. So that's really what distributors do, is they make it easier for retailers to retail product. And then there's a whole other world that I've touched a little bit, you know, from going to ACD Games Day before previously. We're going this year, meeting, networking, meeting other publishers and talking about other publishers. Joseph Goodman's going to be there. I haven't seen Joseph. He wasn't at GaryCon, so it's going to be good to catch up, touch base with him. And then just to meet the retailers, to meet the people who are doing the frontline work of telling your people when they come into the store what to buy, you know. And we all know that 5e is the big dog in the room when it comes to role-playing games. Like it is what it is.
What game?
The key, right? The real key is getting a retailer who sees stuff like Liminal Horror or Mothership or Forbidden Psalm, and it's just like, no, it's cool. I like Games Workshop. I play 40K the same as everybody else, but you should try Forbidden Psalm because you can use all the minis you have at home. And our job when we go to events like ACD Games Day is to talk to retailers and tell them all this more stuff, because they get a monthly catalog called Meeple Monthly that has all of the new releases in it. And then they, of course, have access to the back catalog. You can pick up, I believe, don't quote me on it, but I know that Meeple Monthly isn't limited to just brick and mortar stores. I think if you write to ACD that you can actually get a subscription to Meeple Monthly if you wanted to see what's coming out and available from ACD. And it's kind of neat because it's cool, really cool for us because we get a new release and we get actually, it was funny, the first issue that we were actually in came out and the postman just delivered the cover, the innards didn't get delivered, so we were sad. but it's cool. But we've got other issues, and it's just neat to flip back, and it's all alphabetical, and they have other cool articles in there, like interviews with publishers or spotlights on specific products or advertisements and stuff like that. So you can kind of it's neat for us because it's a little bit more behind the scenes, and we can kind of see what other cool, neat stuff's coming up. We can see what other publishers are doing and stuff like that, you know? So it's, so yeah, that's Meeple Monthly. So even more, another layer of the onion, ACD is one of 16 distributors that I don't even know all of their names, but one of the 16 distributors that are in the United States that are servicing the United States and Canada, North America, essentially, and then parts of South America, other places overseas. Southern Hobby is another one. Diamond, a lot of people will probably know Diamond because of their previous catalog, because of comic books and stuff like that. Well, Diamond is worldwide. They're a global company that handles that distribution and that consolidation to get all that cool stuff. So yeah, that's a little bit more about how the sausage is made. So it's not like we just make a zine and it just magically appears in your friendly local game store. We make a zine and then we solicit that zine 3 to 4 months out. And then we have, you know, so we have to have the cover and we have to have the blurb and the press kit for it. And then we've got, you know, another month for the zine to get finished editing and any last bit of art or anything, all the layout. And then it needs to be printed. Then it has to land here. And then we wait anxiously and thankfully for orders to come in from ACD. And then big orders come in from ACD. And then Debbie spends half a day packaging these massive boxes of shit that we send up. Well, they have 4 warehouses. So they actually servicing 4 major areas in the United States. So, and they specialize in Michael was part of the Goodman Games Indie Creator Summit back in January, and Michael and Mike, a different Mike from a different company, I think from Southern, and one other fellow were on there, and they did big discussions. See, I feel bad because I don't remember their names, but eventually, as we branch out further into distribution, I will be meeting all these folks, and we'll have accounts with all of them and stuff like that. Because just like beer or just like snack cakes, it's like you go in and you go to your grocery store and you want to get that new Mountain Dew flavor, right? We're fans of new Mountain Dew.
Massive Mountain Dew fans on the show. Code Red, get out of here.
Like we have like last year's Bomb Pop one, the Summer Breeze one that tasted like a Bomb Pop. Shit was so good. We still have cans of it. It's like actually it's going flat. Anyway, when you go to your friendly local grocery store, or say you go to a bar or whatever, and you're like, how come you guys don't have beer X? Much like that, certain restaurants don't have accounts with certain distributors. And so the end goal for us is to, at some point, get with more of these distributors so that we can cover more of these game stores. Because if I recall correctly, and I'll find out next week when I'm at ACD Games Day, but I believe ACD services 1,600 stores, which is a huge amount. Like, and eventually, our goal is to make our name known enough so that those 1,600 stores, I don't know if we'll ever get to where we're selling 1,600 copies of stuff to distro, but that would be when that's when you're at like Hasbro level, and
right.
Even like, I don't know if Modiphius is quite at that level, like Free League, some of that stuff, some of those big ones where the majority of the stores that work with a specific distributor are doing that, then that's when you're starting to saturate the market. And that's when you're just like, cool, I can move a lot more units because you're selling them at a discount,
It's interesting. I'm actually on. Oh,
no, whoever distributes Magic Cat to the West Coast, can you start doing that again? I'd appreciate some number 9. It's been a little while. What were you saying, Hunter?
I'm actually on ACD's website right now. And I'm on Space Penguin Inc.'s options. They have no images for almost anything that you have on their website. It's almost.
Well, I'm probably going to get a lecture next week from Michael, and he's going to be like, "Can you send me images?" And I'm going to be like,
"There's like
yes, I will."
8 of your 25 things on here, or 34 items on here.
Yeah. My bad. It's probably my bad. Although I think I sent them in, but again, like they're in the same boat as us. They have however many clients. You can probably you can look on ACD's website and you can see however many publishers work with them on a regular basis. And not every publisher puts out something new every month. We've lucked in and we've got Will, and so we have a Forbidden Psalm monthly for this year. Although I think I'm killing him. No, he's under the weather right now. Shout out to you, Will. He's just actually, there's a bunch of messages from him. Anyway,
there's some stuff on here I've never heard of. What is Most Muscular Minis?
That's coming up next month. That's those are printed. Most Muscular Minis is by Tyler Welch with art and design by Eric Hill. It is a riff. It's an expansion on Meatheads, but for Forbidden Psalm. So it's skirmish miniatures in the vein of like cloth goblins, but with Meatheads, and so you get your brawniest minis. It was Tyler did it up for the jam, and I saw it, and he reached out and was just like, "This is cool." He's like, he loves FP, and Tyler is good buds with Goblin Archives, and they've worked together on some previous projects and stuff. And Tyler, it's not trying to dox anybody, but Tyler's a personal trainer, so he's well equipped to write a Meatheads / Forbidden Psalm Most Muscular Minis supplement. So and it's actually printed. It's in one of those pictures in a box, I swear.
There you go.
So those have arrived. Those are, I can tell you when those go out. Those will be July. No, those will be June. So those will be released in the middle of June, along with Seven Deadly Sins Gluttony, which is the next one in the monthly FP. So it's a double FP month next month. And then July is singular. We just have We Are Dust, which is just one Forbidden Psalm monthly. But then August, probably late July, will be all of the Forbidden Psalm End Times and collection. I'm going to speak with Michael about that next week. Now that we've got most everybody, all the fulfillment, I'm checking tracking, and everything is as we're approaching that 100% mark for delivered and stuff. Yeah, those are the monthlies, right?
Just 4 so far, right? Plus Spurt Night.
Spurt Night. He's breeding dose. Here, I'm going to put it close. Check out that typo, everybody.
Spurt Night.
That's Spurt Night.
It's supposed to say Spirit Night. This is what happens when Will was working at super fast speed, and Jarrett editing it missed it, and Roz editing it missed it, and Dye marketing missed it, and Debbie packaging missed it. So we had to do a reprint because we fixed the cover. So it was a team effort to whiff that one. We even fixed it once, and I still managed to press order. And so I was the biggest dummy of all, because I should have double checked that before I sent the damn thing through to order, because I even caught it before we sent it in. A small mistake. It cost us a little bit of money, but hey, we'd rather fix it and get it right out there. So that makes these collector's items, which I know we said earlier, I'm going to send you guys copies of Spurt Night. So you
give
can
them
have
spurts,
it's a good one. I'm really excited about it. Your copy should be there, of course, probably today, Ryan. Like right after the show, it'll probably arrive.
I had my informed delivery sitting here refreshing every now and then, hoping it would just pop up on the doorstep. But
of course,
not quite yet today. So I'll show it off next month.
You know what we'll do? We'll plan next month. I will, since most muscular minis and Seven Deadly Sins Gluttony are actually in the other room already, I will put those in the pack with Spurt Night and some other stuff and send them to you so that you have them for the show for next month.
So we still have to get that on the calendar for next month, don't we? I don't think
we do. We'll
reach the end of our previously planned episodes. Wow, look at us.
Crazy.
What?
And they all almost went on all the days that we were supposed to have.
Yeah.
The last couple things. So some of the things that are in my box coming today or tomorrow. There we go. That's what I was waiting for. Is Daisy Chainsaw.
Chainsaw.
For the last 3 months, I was like, "Oh, Jarrett, so when's Daisy Chainsaw coming?" He's like, "In like 2 months." And then I was like, "Oh, hey, when's Daisy?" He's like, "I said next month." I was like, "Oh yeah, that's right." So finally got to actually order that. Yeah.
That's part of the deal with being in distribution is things get solicited on that 90 to 120 day cycle. So like this list here is all of the plans for all of the stuff for all of the monthly FPs plus some other stuff. Like I can tell you, I can tease you, Isle of Hex for DCC. It's going to be a really good one. That's going to be coming out in November. I saw the new cover for that Diogo Barros is working on. That one's going to be pretty fun. It was originally a short, like I think like 12 or 16 page digital zine, and it's a weird fucked up island, and it's just kind of ridiculous, and it's going to be really great when it gets out there. It's going to have all kinds of fat DCC stats and a little dungeon in it. 𝗡𝗢𝗧 Sluggers might make it out this year, and then we've got some other new releases. Next month at the beginning of the month, we'll have a backer kit crowdfund campaign for Liminal Horror, the Parthenogenesis of Hungry Hollow. So that one's coming up soon. Dye is working on the marketing headers for that right now, and we're figuring out. I've got a meeting about that one early next week. So that one, sign up for that one to follow along. But let's move back to talking about Daisy Chainsaw. So Magical Girls, and if you don't like Magical Girls, then I don't know what's wrong with you. We went with Spiral Bound.
Love a good Spiral Bound.
We went with the soft touch on the cover, just to give it a little bit more class. Charlotte really knocked this out of the park. This one first came aboard about 2 years ago. It came on my radar. And then since Space Penguin has opened, we brought it on board over here. It's got some really cool neato dice mechanics. I haven't had a chance to sit and play it fully yet. It's game night tonight. We're going to play Hero Quest, and then after that, I think I might have everybody make characters for Daisy Chainsaw, cool. Which gives me an excuse to watch some more Sailor Moon again.
Absolutely.
I mean, absolutely.
Cardcaptor Sakura, you know?
Right. And then build up episodes for everyone to play. But we're really super stoked to finally have this out. Charlotte, if you're watching or listening, kick ass. I know you know. And we even have plans for if this is a hit and it takes off and people really dig it, and we find ourselves we find it flying off the shelf, then doing some sort of like larger version of it in the shape of a Trapper Keeper.
No,
that'd be sick.
Yeah, I've wanted to do Trapper Keepers and for other projects, because I'm just like kind of jokingly here and there. Squishy would be one that would benefit from a Val's Squishy. You know Squishy, right?
Oh, of course we went over Squishy.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
Me and someone else went over Squishy on the show when Hunter wasn't there. But I've got.
I wasn't here. I saw the episode.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah, I have everything Squishy possible.
Yeah.
So love Squishy. Such a great horror game.
Well, and Trapper Keeper was one of the first things that Charlotte mentioned with this, and doing that. And yeah, it's just a matter of finding the right way to do it and price it right, and to be like, oh, you made the Trapper Keeper edition, because it'll need a flesh out. It'll need like a player's book and then the DM's,
oh my gosh,
guide and whatnot. So the MC.
If you could do it like the fucking what were those? What's that? She did the very hyper saturated like dolphins and stuff. Who am I thinking of?
Absolutely, Lisa Frank.
If it had like Lisa Frank style, like the playbook was like folders inside the Trapper Keeper, and there could be like pencils with like erasers that were like little magical girls, I would freak out. That would be amazing. Yeah.
So that's obviously a massive inspiration on Charlotte and all of that with all of this, and so that's why we went with the spiral bound to have it feel like a notebook that you would pick up and stuff. So
that's great. Well, I mean, expect that you might see that on the show at some point. Yeah, I've had the PDF in my Dropbox for a while, so I think that's definitely on our list of stuff to go over, so people will be able to see a little bit more of that in depth.
Neat. Oh, and then last one we talked about at the Mutants of Madness, and we talked about Resonant. These came out last month. Yeah, @Mom. Yeah, it's got the best acronym of anything we've released for @Mom. @Mom. Is really beautiful, and this actually made a sneak debut at GaryCon, and we sold most of the copies out there, which was really great. And then I heard the other day that Goodman Games is offering it as an add-on, because they've purchased wholesale copies from us. They're offering it as an add-on for one of their current Kickstarters that they've got going on. So that's kind of exciting. That means hopefully they'll be selling through a bunch of those copies, and they'll be buying more copies from us, which means another print run soon. So I'm really super stoked about this. So and I've actually run this one. Yeah, I'm more of a DCC person than an MCC person, but I still dearly love some MCC, and it's definitely a high level module. Although when I ran it as a 0 level module. Everybody died. Like, I mean, that's how it goes.
DCC.
That's how it goes. So, and then I think we talked a little bit about Resonant last month. So it's one of the dueling bugs with sound modules, right? Because there's another bug hunt from another bug hunt that's up in that box, and then there's Resonant. Amanda Pease, she wrote Tannic, and she wrote Dread Hospitality, which is coming out for Cairn, which will be in that boxed set. Super cool. The best part of it is, and she'll get the joke because she's watching or listening, is it's just an antique diving suit, right? But I don't remember the conversation exactly, but we both ended up with just the idea that you wanted an antique diving suit. I think it's in the text here, right? And I was just like, that's just the sort of random thing that just needs to be illustrated. And so Tony Tran did a really great rendition of it. And from the get-go, Tony just nailed it. Like, it was so beautiful. Yeah. And we're just like, boom. It's that kind of, that's the kind of weirdness factor that we kind of do with stuff that we're doing with Space Penguin is, sure, of course, if you do a mothership module, you want to have the monsters, the bugs or whatever, the bad guys, you want to have it, dude. But no, let's just have a antique diving suit, because who doesn't want to look at a beautiful picture of an antique diving suit? I mean, it's so pretty.
It does look like a good picture. Yeah.
It's so pretty.
I mean, and the cover too is fantastic. The design on this is crazy.
Yeah, it's so Tony's art and Dye Sugar's design on that. And I wanted to shout out Dye's maps that he did for this are just spot on, amazing. Like, I'm lucky to work with that guy every single week. I'm super excited for a not Space Penguin project, but a project that I edited. Did you possibly back Snake Wolf 3, Cycle of the Snake Wolf 3?
What kind of question is that? What the fuck kind of question is that?
Well, you are in for a treat. Did you pick up one of the? You picked it up, yes.
Why are you going to ask me these questions knowing the answer?
I was going to know. What do you think about that? Thing is a phone book, is it not?
It's a phone. Look at this shit. Yeah. And it's Snake Wolf and then 3. If people didn't get that, yeah. This is insane.
And that's just the EPUB version without all. That's not fully laid out. This is a work copy with. It has some illustrations and some bits and pieces of here and there, but that is literally like, yeah. No, it was an incredible joy to watch and work with Sean while he was writing that, and then he wrote an entire Mega Dungeon in, I think it was 3 months. And then it took me about 2 months to do initial developmental editing and editing copy line pass to get it in good shape for Dye. And then now Dye's been working on it for a couple of months in the layout and whatnot. And it's due to head back my way to start working with to start spot checking all the stuff near the end. Like, I'm so excited to see, like, I've seen bits and pieces of what Dye's done as far as like the design and the hierarchy and stuff. Sean's always sending me like new art previews and stuff like that. Like, it's going to be monstrous. Like, it's just going to be like, I'm super happy to be. I'm always happy to work on all projects, but that one is it's so big, it's so bulky, it's so goofy. And then when people actually read it and they're like, when they realize what all's in it, like, did you manage to read it or flip through it a little bit? It's pretty dense.
I flipped through. It's dense. I love stuff like that, but I also will, like, I don't read PDFs of books that I back on Kickstarter until I have the physical one in my hands. Yeah, so it's kind of like that. So I have it. I flip through it a little bit, but also, shout out to fucking Dye Sugars, by the way. Like, the stuff that they do, the random art that they post on Twitter. Like, there's been numerous times where we've got a book and been like, man, I fucking love the layout of this. Who is this? Yeah. Oh, Dye Sugars, Gangs of Titan City, Squishy. I mean, the maps that they do, just the talent of that person is absolutely fantastic. Fucking Dye Sugars is, it's awesome you get to work with them. And everything that they do is fantastic. So shout out Dye Sugars.
I agree. Every single day. We have a standing Monday morning meeting at 7 o'clock my time, and it's like afternoon for him. And we get in there and like it's awesome. It's like, okay, cool. This is what we're gonna do with the week. So he made me have those meetings on those at 7 o'clock. It just makes sense. Let's have a Monday morning stand up and let's do it.
Yeah.
So
Me and Hunter have a Monday morning 10 a.m. meeting standing that we've never actually had.
We did it this Monday. It was a phone call. It was 2 hours.
Oh, the phone call. Yeah, we actually talked more. We talked a lot this week, buddy.
Yeah, listen. I've been trying to come back from not existing. I promise. You know.
Hey, I'm not. I'm good with not existing. Don't perceive me, please.
You can no longer say we didn't keep that meeting because this 1 week out of the 5 we did keep it. So
yeah, 5 weeks of trying to get together and we have not. But yeah, again, you are awesome. You've surrounded yourself with awesome people, and Space Penguin just continues to grow and be awesome. And we love having you here on the show to talk about the new releases, to get more insight into it. Like you said, to you have a lot of really awesome, talented people doing a lot of weird, awesome talent stuff for SPI, and I'm so excited to have those things.
Yeah, no. Well, thank you guys for having me on. Like, it's super great,
of course,
to be here and to be able to and just talk about and give little tidbits and insights into, because I'm always learning and I'm always figuring this out. And just like, I mean, I'm lucky enough to work with all these cool people on all these cool projects, like all the time, every day. Like, it's the best fucking job in the world, best job I've ever had. Like, getting up every day and doing cool, weird nerd shit with my nerd friends. Like, it's awesome. And this is part of it, being on the show. So, and especially because you do things like, yeah, you could take a 10-minute break while you unload that pallet.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's even better.
Yeah.
We'll edit it out, probably.
Probably. Yeah.
Just leave it in there. Just leave it in there because you know, someone listening to it on podcast is going to be driving. And they're going to be like, that actually was pretty soothing. It was nothing for 10 minutes.
Nothing. Yeah. No, yeah. Again, like, we'll have you on for as long as you want to be. You know, we do this. We do this for the homies and for the people that like weird little shit. You know, we know that our format is not for everyone, especially in a culture built on 60-second TikToks. So if you can sit through 3 hours of us complaining about the minutia in a fucking zine, you know, we're happy to have you all as a fan, and having you able to come on, like I said, not only as a wonderful guest, but as a friend to both of us. It's always fantastic. So everyone listening, you know, continue to expect Jarrett to be here every month for the foreseeable future, as long as we're able to make it work. So we can keep talking about all the amazing releases and the growth of the company and all the things that you can teach us along the way as you learn more and more, and eventually get to, you know, 𝗏𝗡𝗎𝗓 Gnasbro levels and take over from Wizards of the Coast and then run the world. I mean, that's where we're getting, right?
Dream.
Yeah. Just don't get too big, because then everyone will hate you just because you're successful. Right. But
no way.
You know, it is what it is. But again, Jarrett, thank you so much for being here. We will let you all know next month when Jarrett's going to come on again. We'll chat a little bit more, especially after you've been to the ACD
Day.
Yeah, ACD Games Day, so we can chat a little bit more about the ins and outs of that. And join us on Sunday. I know we mentioned very briefly the next Liminal Horror release coming out. We are going to have Goblin Archives and Josh Demansky on the show on Sunday, going over a Liminal Horror writing seminar, and talking a little bit about the Twisted Classics Jam that they're having for Liminal Horror as well. So expect more Liminal Horror content here on the show as well, before more content comes to Space Penguin Inc. So that's us. That is it.
Oh, yeah.
Boom.
Double barrel Space Penguin this week. That's great.
Ooh, there we go. So catch us next month. Catch us on we actually have an episode on Saturday too. This won't be up before then. But what?
We got 3 episodes in a row.
And then an episode on Monday. So we have a busy 4 days ahead of us. Thank you all for being here. Nope. Thank you to those in chat. Thank you again, Jarrett, and we will see you all later.
Guess what? We fixed the camera thing.
We did it.
It was perfect. It was perfect. Woo! For those in podcast land, it doesn't fucking matter to you, but for those on YouTube,
now
you're
I'm
welcome.
waving my hands to see if I can kiss my camera off.
All right.